What is going on, guys? DrJo here. In this video, we're going to go over what it takes to start playing Magic. Now, I know a lot of you wanted to know how to play Magic, but as my research tells me, there are a lot of other channels on YouTube that already covered this, and there are actually pretty decent videos out there that teaches you how to play Magic. So you can check out my friend David over at Budget MTG. He's going to teach you exactly what you need in order to start playing the game. But in this video, we're going to go over how you need to, do the things that you need to do to start playing Magic, how you need to do, what you need to do to get into each format. And this video is pretty much going to cover all of those aspects, so enjoy. There are 5 colors of mana in Magic. You can choose to play white, you can choose to play blue, you can choose to play black, red, or green. The thing about white is that it helps your creatures getting stronger. You get a lot of creatures on the battlefield and you start buffing them up, gaining life, and all bunch of different stuff with white. It usually revolves around you having a lot of life, a lot of creatures on the battlefield in order to attack or block or do whatever you need to do. The next color that we're going to go over is blue. Blue is about manipulation and knowing what your opponent plays and how to react to it. So you can cast blue spells that counters your opponent. This color is all about manipulation. It's all about controlling the board. It's all about controlling every aspect of the game and then get into, a combo or whatever you're playing in order to win the game. Black is all about winning at any cost. You sacrifice your creatures, you destroy your opponent's creatures, you make all tons of minus counters on your opponent in order to win at any cost. This is what black does, and this is what it does best. So if you're into destroying everything on the field, you're into, crumbling your opponents and making their creatures weaker, your creatures stronger, black is definitely for you. Red is sometimes the color that I define as being the most new player friendly. It's pretty simple. You have creatures that attack on the first turn, and that's not normal for creatures, since creatures, they do get summoning sickness when you summon them. So you have to wait one turn in order to attack your opponent. But with red, that's all gone. The haste effect, which gives creatures the ability to attack on the turn that they're summoned, really makes them fast and really makes it easy for red to just burn down the opponent with spells and also with creatures, and lots of them. This is also one of the aspects that seems like, if you can pair colors, you can see that red has a lot of the same things that white does. It's all about having a field, and if you're playing those two colors together, you got something pretty new and exciting that you can try out. But just seeing red as the burn deck that burns down the opponent, that tries to win off of the emotions of the top deck. So it's kind of like a gamble deck, if you ask me, unless you don't build it as a gamble deck. But the aggro burn decks are pretty much a gamble, since you need the right amount of land, you need the right cards at the right time in order to burn down your opponent before they can answer all your threats. So if you like that kind of aspect of a card game, then red is definitely for you. You knew it was coming. We're going to talk about green. So green is this rampant, color that taps into all the mana in your deck, or at least tries to ramp up quickly and then get the big creatures on the board. It's kind of hard to answer big creatures, since if you can't counter them, you need very big removal in order to, get them down. But most removal that are at least, of some decency, it costs a lot of mana. And when you're that much in front, it's going to be pretty hard for your opponent to answer all your threats. Keep in mind that if you only play big creatures, your mana curve is not going to be that strong, since you need the ramp. And if you don't get the ramp, you're sitting there with a lot of creatures with a lot of power that you can't really cast. So the best thing when you're building a deck of green, you should be, balancing it out. And again, as I talked about before, you can mix the colors the way that you want to. I like doing 2 or 3 colors, 3 at max. You can play 4 and you can play 5, but it's kind of hard, to get the mana that you need. But there are ways to get the mana that you need. It's called mana fixing, and There are different types of dual lands and shock lands and fetch lands and whatever, and we're going to cover those. Don't get worried. But for this part of the video, it's all about knowing what the colors do. And if you're into big creatures coming down really fast and overwhelming your opponent like that, instead of small creatures, then green is definitely for you. So now that you got a pretty good idea about what the colors do, you can sort of start to make your own thoughts about what kind of color you want to play and what colors you want to mix in order to have the best experience that you can have with Magic. Make sure that you check out David over on Budget MTG. Just check out his video. He has like 10 parts where you learn how to play the game, and then come back to my channel when you watch those videos. Check out the next parts that I'm doing for you. I'm doing all the formats in Magic, and then we're also going to go over what kind of cards you need in order to be competitive at your Friday Night Magic or in casual. We're not going to go over tournament levels, since most of you guys, I don't want you to go out and spend hundreds of dollars making just one deck when you're just starting out playing Magic. If you're an advanced player, that's alright, you can do that, that is perfectly fine, but you shouldn't be doing that when you're a beginner. So again, that's it for this video, guys. Please remember to thumbs up, comment, share, all that good stuff. You know the drill. It helps other people finding my channel, and it makes it possible for me to do more videos for you guys. So again, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.